I felt like I needed to come on here because I want to talk about how we got to where we are in terms of comparing Trump and MAGA to MLMs, because they work exactly the same way. And I'm hoping that by looking at it in this way, it will help you to understand how we got to where we are, but also will give you some hope as to how we can get out of it. I think we all know that Trump is a charismatic, narcissistic leader. Check. Same thing happens with an MLM. The other thing that happens is the leader is incredibly lazy. The important thing to know now is that the cult leader is lazy, and they bring in, the tiers below them, their downlines, to do the work for them. So that's been the Republican Party. The Republican Party has been the downline. And below that is MAGA, if you want to take the analogy further down. And for those of you who don't know what an MLM is a multi-level marketing company. It's a legalized pyramid scheme. It's Amway and doTERRA and Herbalife. But there's something really interesting going on with MLMs right now. And that is that a lot of them are going out of business. And the reason why is because the anti-MLM movement has been really successful. One of the ways they have been really successful is by using what looks like MLM content, pivoting the content in the middle, and then it gets fed through YouTube to people who are in MLMs, but they begin to get cognitive dissonance. Cognitive dissonance is when you expect to see something and then suddenly it pivots. It goes the other way. And what happens in people's minds and what happens in the minds of MLMers is they begin to think, oh yeah, I don't really agree with what I'm doing, do I? If we want to think about it in another way, this is also what Joe Rogan does. He talks about pop culture and suddenly pivots over into right-wing conspiracy theories. It's all the same thing. What we're starting to hear more and more about is MAGA quiet quitting. And one of the ways, especially for those of you who are really good YouTube producers, is to create content that sounds like you are agreeing with them, but begin to feed them information to help them to realize that where they are is not a good place. And what we know about people who finally come to realize that they are in a cult, people talk about it as a bookshelf. And what happens is you have one piece of cognitive dissonance and it goes on the shelf. And then you have another one and you have another one until finally that bookshelf breaks. If we can get enough people to have their bookshelf come crashing to the floor, we can make a change.